Greetings, curious viewers. Tommy here with Tool Tips with Tommy. Duh. And I'm kind of obsessed. Talking about some new Bosch 12-volt woodworking tools. That's kind of Bosch's focus, is concrete tools and woodworking tools. You know, they're known for their jigsaws, table saws, miter saws on the woodworking end, routers, sanders on the woodworking end, and then rotary hammers, hammer drills, things like that, grinders on the concrete side, which I've already kind of done a video on hammer drills and rotary hammers. So I'm going to talk about some of their new woodworking 12-volt tools. These actually aren't that new. They've been out for a while, but they have them now at Lowe's, and they have a special promo if you buy any of the Bear tools, including the oscillating tool. I don't have the oscillating tool. I have the 18-volt oscillating tool, so I didn't see a need to get the 12-volt. But yeah, if you buy any of the Bear tools, you get the battery, the 2 amp-hour battery, and the charger for free. So pretty good value if you're in the market for any of these cool woodworking tools. So they are 12-volt. They're not like, you know, I mean, I don't want to say they're not heavy duty, because they do great work and they do precise work. But for instance, this jigsaw has a 1/2 inch stroke. You're not going to do lumber with this jigsaw. You're going to do 3/4 inch material max. Great for doing, you know, 1/2 inch, 3/8 inch, 1/4 inch wallboard, things like that, thinner materials. But you're not going to do lumber with this thing. And then the planer here, I've been messing with this planer pretty much all morning. It's only got a 2.5 inch, I think, is the maximum cutting width. It doesn't have a shoe. It's not, you know, it's not designed for like the heavy duty. It's great for doing lumber. It's great for squaring off, you know, some tweaked lumber if you're going to be doing drywall work or something like that. But it planes really well. It works really good. And you know, I've got some video of, and I'm going to run it here in a little bit, but and show you how it works. Great for doing, you know, it'll square up lumber and stuff, no problem. Unlike this guy right here. And then the laminate trimmer here, the cordless laminate trimmer. This is, once again, it's not going to run 1/2 inch bits. It's 1/4 inch max. Great for doing like laminate trimming, things like that. Chamfer work, edge work, really low profile edge work. It's not going to do like a, you know, a 1 inch round over or anything like that, but definitely do any kind of chamfer work or like a, you know, 1/4 inch, 3/8, maybe 1/2 inch round over that you got. I have a 3/8 inch round over bit right here. I'm going to run it with that on there and show you how it works. Yeah, really cool little woodworking tools. Like I said, Bosch's focus is woodworking and concrete tools. So one of the cool things about the planer here that I really liked, if you've ever used a planer, they make a huge mess, right? They make a ton of chips. In fact, I don't even know why they offer these bags with planers. I don't know anybody who puts this little teeny bag on a planer. This is like a waste. You'll fill this up with like 2 passes. So this, you know, get rid of that. I'll never use it. This is just your standard, you know, you put this in here and it'll direct the chips out, you know, whichever way you put it in there, it'll direct them out. Actually, you know, put it in, I was using it on this side, I think, but you put it in there and it will, so you know, it'll direct the chips this way, or you can put it on the other side. Now it'll direct the chips out that way. It was great for the slow-mo feed that I did, or video that I did, but this is the really cool, and this is the one you're going to use. This is the one I use, and this is the only one I'll use. This is a attachment for my vacuum. So this will work with the Bosch cordless 18-volt vacuum or any of the other vacuums. It's got the snap-on attachments right here, so you can snap the hose right on there, no problem. But it goes in here, and then it locks in, just bam, like that, and now you've got an attachment for your vacuum. You can keep your workplace tidy, because like I said, these things are really messy. They make a lot of dust, and it will go on either side. So you put it in either side, and then it locks in. So whichever is most convenient for you. Yeah, so this is the one you're going to use right here. This is the one that's the only one they should have sent with it. So it's the GHO 12V 08N, and it's the Bear tool. It doesn't come with the battery. It does have your Allen wrench right here to change the blade. It's a single blade on the drum here, so you only have to replace one blade, and each blade comes with 2 cutting edges. So if I was to hit a nail or something on that and I nick that side, I can loosen up those Allen wrench flip it around, and I've got another working edge. And one of the cool things, it does come with an extra blade. So right inside the little slot right there, it has an extra blade that it comes with. So you get 4 cutting edges when you buy it. So you've got an extra blade, and it comes with one already installed. So really cool. Brushless, of course, just like all their new tools that they've got out. You got your lock-on switch right there, but runs fairly quiet. And it's got a little kickstand right there, so if it is running, when you set it down, you're not going to get any cuts on there. So it does have a lock off right there, so if you want to go over your max, it locks it off so you can't go back. So it keeps it right there, and then you want to go really big. So I don't see the need to really go that big. I think that goes all the way up to 1/8 inch. But this is, I mean, I think I was cutting at 1/16 of an inch, and that was the max that I was using it at. If you're doing softer woods, you're going to have to push that down so you can go past it, and then you can go to your maximum depth. But like I said, I was only cutting at like 1/16 of an inch, and it works great. So yeah, really, really cool. Like I said, great value. If you buy it now at Lowe's, you get the free battery and the charger with it. So as a bare tool, it'll put you into the kit right there. It doesn't have any kind of a mount for a fence or anything like that, so it's just a free hand planer. All right, and then the Jigsaw, the JS12N, I kind of mentioned already. It's only got a 1/2 inch stroke, so it's not going to do. It's definitely not going to do lumber. I've tried to cut lumber with it. It does have your oscillating, so it will, you know, do the oscillations on the blade, so it'll make it cut more aggressively. It's got 3 stages. But even when you put it on full oscillation, it's not going to cut right through lumber like your standard corded Bosch Jigsaw would. But this would be great for doing something like if you're going to do moldings and you're not going to cut them at 45, you're actually going to profile them to fit together. You could use something like this. They may come out with one of the rounded bases for this, so it'll make it really easy to do that freehand work. I think that would be a perfect application for this because it's so light and so small. It also has variable speed, so you got your variable speed right back here, which is nice. There you go. And it's got a cool toolless blade change, so it locks in the open position. Put the blade in, just push it, snaps right in, and then when you take it out, it shoots it out and locks in the open position, ready for the next blade to go in there. You can bevel it. You loosen the screw right there, and you can bevel it. So really cool. And it does come with actually the Allen wrench. It's right here on the shoe, so you got the Allen wrench to loosen up that bolt to bevel it. So yeah, really nice. Like I said, it works great in 3/8 1/2 inch material, no problem. It does come with the 144D, which is a really aggressive wood cutting blade. It also comes with a 0 clearance insert, and it comes with a plastic shoe. So if you're doing laminate work and you want to protect the surface, you don't want to scratch it, you know, you don't want to get any of you know, any particulates on that and then running across a laminate top and scratch it. You can clean the plastic, you know, wax that down and then pop that on there. And then the of course the 0 clearance works with the plastic shoe, so that goes right on there as well and gives you that added bonus of the 0 clearance. So yeah, once again, this is another good value. You get this with the battery and the charger for free. And then the last one is the one-handed router, or the laminate trimmer. It's got a kind of a funky shape. You lock the arbor to change the blade. You just pull that out, and that locks the arbor. It is a 17 mil is what you use to loosen it up, or a crescent wrench, adjustable wrench, whatever. And then to do your depth, you push this button in. Oh, you got to loosen up. There is a locking screw on this side. Push the button in, and that will give you the ability to do the quick adjust. And then you dial it in with this guy right here. You can kind of screw it up, you know, turn it, and then that just screws the thread so you can get to a precise spot. And when you get to where you want it, you just lock it in and go to town. Brushless. Once again, this one also comes with the battery and the charger for free when you buy it at Lowe's right now. So good, good woodworking tools. You know, they're very handy. They have their purpose, their function. They're not gonna, you know, I have a corded jigsaw, so I can use this for my light duty work, you know, no problem. I have a corded planer that I can use that has a fence on it if I need to do any heavy duty planing. But for me, you know, this has 2.5 inches. I can do lumber with this. I can do doors with this. I can do all that stuff with it. So really nice, does the job. Kickstand, extra blade, got your battery meter right there, your depth adjust up here. And like I said, if you're going to go max depth, you got to push that button down, and then it'll give you an extra 1/16 of an inch. I think that's what it is. I think it goes all the way to an 1/8 inch, but it goes to 1/16 and locks, and then you push that and you can extend down further. But you know, as a light duty planer, you don't really need to do, you know, they probably put that there because they didn't want you to really to increase that depth too much. But you'll get about 5 to 7 minutes of full on trigger time with this thing. I was doing some planing in the backyard with this guy, and I did a timer. I set a timer, and I think it went for like 8 minutes, but I wasn't planing the whole time, so it's probably closer to about 6 minutes with a 2 amp-hour battery. I do, you know, of course you can put the 6 amp-hour battery on here, which is the one you know, if you really want to go crazy with it, I would recommend the 6 amp-hour battery. But since it comes with the 2 amp-hour, that was what I did the testing with. I wanted to run it with the testing, or with the 2 amp-hour battery, and just drain it all the way down and see how much planing I could get with it. That's, you know, kind of the question that people usually have about these, is like, well, how long is it going to run with that battery? So like 5-6 minutes of just full-on trigger time. So if you just pulled the trigger and didn't let it off and just sat there and bzzz with it, which is what I was doing kind of today, you'll get about 5 minutes. So which you know, for, like I said, if you're doing doors or something, you're just, you know, taking some paint off of a door so it closes well or something, or trimming the bottom of something so it closes good, doesn't hit the carpeting, whatever, this would totally do it, no problem. But like I said, I'll have some video of me using all of these that I'm going to add in here that you're going to see. So we're going to put them all to use here in a little bit. But yeah, they run cool. I'm going to use them all with the 2 amp-hour battery, which they come free with. I'm not going to use the 6 amp-hour battery. Of course, the 6 amp-hour battery will improve the performance. But like I said, since they come with the 2, that's what I'm going to run them with, so you can see, you know, what you're going to get, what you get. So, and I will use a dust extractor with the planer, because I've already filled up my trash can like 1/3 of the way. You know, just running, I think I ran like 2, maybe 3 batteries I think I've run down already today, just messing around with it because it's so cool. But all right, well, let's go out and try these things and see how you like them in use. Right on. All right, bye. All right, we're all set up here. We're going to give it a go. Maybe I'll just burn the battery out. I don't know. But I'm just going to give it some passes on this 2x. I've already kind of flattened it out. But I'm going to use the vacuum. Close the screen so I don't get a bunch of dust inside. Well, we'll get dust inside anyway, but let me get a little closer here. All right, I think that's should be good. Let's give it a try. And that's the vacuum attachment right there. So yeah, there you go. Let's get close up on that. You can see the quality of cuts. Really very, very smooth. You got a perfect edge on it. Nice sharp edge. I was cutting, the first couple of cuts I made were at maximum depth. You could probably tell it was not struggling, but it was definitely slowing it down. And then I went to minimum depth, so it was cutting a lot narrower, a lot thinner cut. And then I went about halfway towards the end there. So I didn't want to go, you know, all the way down to the maximum depth. That's a little strong, you know, to do the lumber at that depth, especially this wet Home Depot lumber. So, or Lowe's lumber, wherever I got it, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, for the application, for what you're doing with it, I mean, you're gonna see the slow-mo video I did. I took this log right here. This was a round log this morning, and I just flattened off a bunch of sides and just kind of was just making passes on it, and just, yeah, it was kind of just tore through it. And that's pretty hard wood, so did a good job. Yeah, so that's the planer. There you go, and you can see, look, no mess. It's all in the vacuum. Here, I'll show you the vacuum. This is, I'll show you what we made here. There you go. That was empty when I started. And, well, I did make a little bit of a mess, it looks like. But that was empty when I started. In fact, alright, here we go. We're going to try the router now. A little 12-volt router. I got some wood set up here. I've got my round over bit in there. See my round over bit right there. I already got it adjusted to a good depth and everything. So I'll make the cut, and then I'll show you guys what the cut looks like. So it looks like my pilot bearing was a little bit low. This wood right here was not as thick, so the pilot bearing wasn't running along the edge, so it kind of chunked in there. But yeah, it worked pretty well all the way around. I'll give you a show. I kind of wasn't prepared for that though. Here the wood wasn't as, the pilot bearing actually that I have on my bit right there, the pilot bearing was, this wood is not deep enough, so the pilot bearing was running underneath here, and so that's why it chunked in there. But you can see that it did a pretty good job on the round over. It doesn't spin as fast as your corded routers. I think it's like 14,000 RPMs or something. But yeah, it did my round over, and that's a pretty good round over for this. Like I said, it's a laminate trimmer, and if I had any Formica or Wilson Art or Nevamar or any laminates, maybe I'll do a video where I can do some actual laminate trimming with it, because that's kind of what it's really focused for, is those guys doing laminate countertops and doors and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I mean, for the round over, definitely, I mean, this is a pretty heavy application for it. I mean, as a small chamfer bit or something on there, it would have worked way better. But yeah, this material was just too thin for that pilot bearing. I should have considered that when I did it. It worked well for the most part, but over here the wood was a little thinner because I had done a cut on there. So it kind of chunked in right there. But yeah, everywhere else, no problem. Yeah, so that's, like I said, that's a pretty heavy application for this little laminate trimmer. But worked well. And there you go. Nice little round over. All the way around on the laminate, on the plywood. So, just scraps though. Alright, so here's the last one. This is the Jigsaw. So, yeah. I'm just going to use the same piece. I'm going to make a couple of cuts here. I've got different blades I'm going to use. I'm going to put it in orbital action, and I'm going to take it off orbital action. So this will be 0 orbital action, and I'm just going to do a quick. So that's one. I'm going to do it at full speed. So a little bit of blowout. Now take it off, or now it's at full orbit. You see a lot more blowout, a lot faster. So a lot more blowout with that on full orbit, but you can see it was much quicker, made the cut much easier. Now we're going to change blades. We'll go to, I've got a nice progressor blade here that'll give us a nice clean cut. We're going to do a couple of cuts with the progressor blade. I'll do it at no orbital action. I'll just do one cut so you can see how clean it is right now. You can see, actually, let's see, you can see how much blowout we got there. Now I'll do a cut here with my progressor blade with no orbit action, and you see how clean this is. So there you go. That's with no orbit action. You can see this is a 1/2 inch material, so cuts nice and clean really easily on this stuff. I wouldn't even attempt to do that lumber underneath it, though. That would just be way too much for this thing. Yeah, anything, like I said, anything 3/8 up to 1/2 inch, and even 3/4. I got a piece of 3/4 here. I'll cut it. So this is 3/4 inch. This is 3/4. We'll see how this goes. So now we'll do it with orbit on, 3/4 inch with orbit on. So it actually does pretty good in the orbiting action on 3/4 inch material. So it does pretty well on the 3/4 inch material with the orbiting action on. But you'll see the cut is, you know, you got a lot of blowout on there. Of course, you can rub it off, and that's what it looks like. So, yeah, I wouldn't really try scrolling with this one just yet, but the backside looks great. Look at that, wow! But that progressor blade, that 234, is a great Bosch cutting jigsaw blade. Works really well. So that's my favorite one for doing any kind of finish jigsaw work. Gives you a nice clean edge, especially on the back. Focus, you flipping camera. But yeah, so there you go. That's the jigsaw in action. The very first cut, though, I was binding up because I wasn't cutting it flush, and so it was binding up on the back over here. So just got to make sure you get the whole, you know, get the whole shoe on there when you're especially when you're doing, you know, demoing it. But yeah, so there you go. JS 120N, I think. JS 120 is what it is. So yeah, great little jigsaw. Thank you, Bosch, for the good woodworking tools. That is all. Bye.